Why are B2B sales based on personal selling? The question really is, B2B is really person to person, right, Dave? This is a question somebody asked me after a speaking engagement not too long ago. And we're going to cover what B2B sales really is. And we're going to talk about why business to business is really personal selling on this edition of the Inside BS Show. So there are 5 specific topics we're going to talk about today. The first thing we're going to talk about is how all sales are made. You'll be amazed at the similarities between B2B sales and consumer sales. Second thing we're going to talk about is decisions and the decision-making process and why B2B sales has a decision-making process that is really familiar to all of us. And the third thing we're going to talk about is data and how important data is. But there's something that's even more important than data, and it's especially important in B2B sales. The fourth thing is what and how. You have to address what and how in any sales process, but there are 2 things that are more important than what and how, 2 types of questions in B2B sales that are more important. We're going to talk about that. Finally, consultative sales, what it really means and how it works and why it works so well for B2B. Then, at the end of our time together, we're going to cover the ideal mindset for sales. All of that is coming up on this edition of the Inside BS Show. All right, let's get right into our content today. First, how all sales are made. Listen, all sales are made by delivering value, building up trust, and creating a relationship. This is essential in business-to-business sales, and it's essential in business-to-consumer sales. So regardless of the type of sales that you're in, all sales are made by creating value, building trust, and developing relationships. So when you think about B2B sales, you're not selling to a building, you're selling to another person. So you need to figure out a way to deliver value first up front. Maybe that means passing a referral. Maybe it means helping to educate the person that you're selling to and their team. Maybe it means creating something that can demonstrate that you care about this relationship for the long term. That will also help you build up trust, and it's the foundation for the future of your relationship. So remember, all sales are made person to person by delivering value, building up trust, and creating relationships. B2B is no different. The second thing is how decisions are made. Every decision is made with emotions supported by logic. So if your price and the other guy's price are comparable, how is the B2B decision maker going to figure out who he's going to work with? Well, he's going to decide who he likes more, who has more experience, and who he trusts more. All those 3 things are emotional. Even the experience part, that can be subjective. You've got 10 years of experience. Your competitor has 5.5 years of experience. You've got more experience, but he feels more comfortable with you, so he's going to go with you. Decisions are made emotionally, and then they're supported with logic. The experience supports all the other intangible things. The third thing that we have to talk about in B2B sales as it relates to personal selling is data. Now, data tells, but stories sell. If you want to create a relationship with someone, if you want someone to see what you're really made of, start to tell them stories, personal stories, and you'll be amazed at the connection you make with them. I work almost exclusively in a B2B environment. I teach other business owners, other business leaders, other sales team managers how to build sales teams and how to sell, and I help them with sales systems. I connect with these people by telling them stories about places that I've worked and things that we've done, experiences I've had with other clients, and the successes that I've had with other clients. Those stories are what closes the deal. Now, when they go to their boss for the money to work with me, they use data and they talk about the return on investment they're going to get. But they made the decision to work with me based on the stories and the emotional connection I've made. All right, the fourth thing we're going to talk about is what and how, but even more importantly, who and why. In business-to-business sales, the what and the how are important, but it's not like we're manufacturing a piece of furniture that's going to be in your living room for 15 years. They're not concerned about how we do what we do. They are to the extent that it involves them and their team, and I'm talking about decision makers now. They're concerned to the extent that it involves them and their team, but they're much more concerned about who's going to work with them and the reason why they're bringing us in the first place. If you can relate to them and you fulfill that reason why, you're 90% of the way there. If they like you and they trust you, that's 5% more. That's the who. And then the following 5% is what and how. The who and the why are way more important, infinitely more important than the what and the how. If you meet their why, if they have to bring you in because if you don't fix this, they're going to lose the company, then the why is the most important thing. If they're bringing you in because they want a competitive advantage and they want to boost their stock price to their shareholders and you can do that, the why and the who are the most important things. So in business-to-business sales, why and who are much more important than what and how. All right, the fifth thing that you need to understand for B2B sales is that consultative sales is all about relationships and showing that you care. In consultative sales, consultative selling, you ask questions to uncover what the problem is that the other person is facing. Or you ask questions to uncover what goals the other person is looking to achieve. This is super important. And asking these questions not only demonstrates that you want to get the deal, but it also shows that you care. And it's the foundation for any relationship. Because if you're entering the conversation that's going on around their boardroom table or in the mind of the CEO, those people are going to relate to you and they're going to want to work with you. That's how you build a relationship, and that's what consultative sales does. Now, these are the 5 things that B2B sales are based on, and they're very personal. And so that's why when people say B2B sales, is it personal selling? Yes, it is. But there's also an ideal mindset. I'm going to share that ideal mindset with you right now. But first, I want to give you an opportunity to get my free business development system. Go to revenueroadmapguide.com, revenueroadmapguide.com. Download the business development system that's there. It's a 20-page booklet. You can customize it for your business. Works with every industry, high-ticket sales, B2B sales. Works really well in that environment. RevenueRoadmapGuide.com. Enter your contact info. Get instant access to download that guide immediately. Ready for the ideal mindset? Here we go. The ideal mindset is lifetime relationship value. So if you find yourself in a B2B setting and the people really want to work with you and you're off just a little bit on the financial compensation and it's a contentious negotiation and you're worried or you're concerned that the deal might not go your way, give in. Give in because you're focused on working with these people for the rest of your life or for the rest of their life. Lifetime relationship value is what we're after. You got to think about the 3rd or the 4th sale in the beginning because that's what this is going to do for you. I've taken every relationship I've had and I've deepened it and expanded it. I've got clients that have been with me for 15, 20. I've got one client that I've worked with for over 30 years. Why is that? Because we have a relationship that's based on lifetime value. I want to base my relationship with you on lifetime value, so I'm going to give you another video to watch right now. There's one right below me. Go right down there now. Scroll down. Watch the next video in our B2B sales series. I can't wait to see you in the next video.